Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the free-to-play account, and it's been a little while since we've been on here. We hit all the way to 31-4, made a ton of progression in a very, very short amount of time, and then got very stuck. You can see a lot of players, the exact same scenario, that they are stuck in some of the content. When it gets to the multiple teams, we are running one team that is comprised of Rendell and running Ivan within there, and then the second team, we do have Rem. Now, the thing with Rem is the survivability. Very tough if you don't have the crowd control, if you don't have the survivability. So I want to hop in here. I want to do a couple summons. We just hopped on here, like I said. It had been a couple days. We have around 15,000 diamonds, and I want to do some summons. Now, also, we do have Draconic Insignias. We have some Time Emblems. Also have some Stargazer Scrolls. So we have been farming out quite a bit on this account, trying to build it up a little bit further, but it is a very, very slow build indeed. Going through here, getting in the Treasure Scramble, getting in the Temporal Rift, going for a couple of these. Let's pop these open. Hopefully we get something good because we did the Misty Valley. Boom, out of here. All heroes that we already have, so pretty cool. Get a copy of Nevi. The rest of this kind of garbage at this point. Maybe, fingers crossed, this will be a copy of an Awakened Hero, which it falls into a copy of Peanut. And then we do have 36 of our rare stones, giving us a lot more food. Now, it seems like almost at this point, we don't need a ton of food. There's a lot of heroes that we're not really building out, that we're not really focused on. And then we also do have the few events that are going on, including the Heroes of Espria. Haven't really got a lot into that event, but let's knock out some of these summons. Now remember, traditionally what we're doing here is we want to get 3 ascended heroes of each faction is really the primary focus. That way we can farm out the towers. The towers in turn is going to reward us not only a lot of resources, but we are also going to get the Stargazer Scrolls, which of course, very imperative. We are summoning and we're looking to get some copies of Liberta out of there. But I want to see if we need somebody else, because I know there are a few of these for like Ivan, for instance. We have 2 copies right there, one more. Let's do the summons. Before I use diamonds, I want to try to get Ivan to Ascended. If we are not lucky enough to pull with these regular summons, I want to see if we can get. So there's an elite right off the bat, which is Nevi. We got a second copy of Nevi. Let's go ahead and use these 2 scrolls. Now, 2 scrolls versus using them in 10 doesn't really make a big difference. Now, in here, we do have Greyborn. Let's see if by chance we could pull that copy of Ivan, because I'm worried how many diamonds it's going to cost us to do that desired hero summons to build them up a little bit further. And then, of course, we do have 1 here in the companion points. Nothing as well. 4 more summons, so we get another rare copy. And I think there's a few of these that we can get a little bit higher. And fingers crossed we get the diamonds. I would absolutely love to see the diamonds in here. But looking at our Greyborn heroes, let's grab that last copy of Ivan. Please don't be 9,000 diamonds to get this copy. Copy number 1 does not give us anything, so there's 3. Number 2 is 6. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this individually, because remember, it's 300 or 3,000, so it's the exact same cost. But there's 21, 22, 23, 24, come on, 25. Nope, 26. This is going to be kind of crazy. 27, 28, 29, 29. So if we did on the 10 summon, we would have gotten that 1 single copy. So it did take us 29. Now remember, every 10 summons or 30 summons, you do get the pity timer. So we have, 2 more summons that we can do out of here. That's pretty good. Looking for some Celestials, some Hippos, possibly some Awakens, and unfortunately nothing in there, but we do have a card on the table. Let's go for some Wilders. We'll try to pick up a couple more copies of our Wilder heroes, a copy of Kaz. Unfortunately, very old school Wilder. Now in here, we want the diamonds. This would be an absolute game changer, but copies of Liberta as well. This is still utility-wise the absolute GOAT when it comes to building these out. He is really the go-to hero within here. And then Temple of Time, we are building out Shamira. Now, a lot of players were asking, why are we not going in and building Athalia? Shamira fits perfectly in the team with Randy and with Ivan with the Greyborn formations. So again, thinking maybe we could get some diamonds out of here. A lot of resources. Also getting these fortune chests makes a big difference. We have individual summons here. Last time we did the summons, we got really lucky. There is a Mauler card, and the reason being we did pull, there's another card right there. We did have some luck with pulling that awakened version of Chimera and getting a few copies in there. Let's pop open these cards. I think we have a few cards in here. So there's a copy of Ogi. All right, so we got a couple more rare cards. Let's pop open the rest of these as well. Just get some more essence. I feel like there's going to be a couple more levels that we can gain. And I'm hoping we're at the point we can actually push and move through a little bit more content, because that is going to take Ivan up to Ascended, which means furniture will be unlocked for the 4th. That is right, the 4th one that we have here. So what do we have? Do we have enough food? Because we have Palmer, we have 1, 2, so we don't have anything for Palmer. And then we do have, we already do have Scarlet all the way up to Ascended. Now in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, we have enough food. So right here, we do have the tiny tank. We have Gorn, we have Vika. Even though we have the food, not really anyone in here to build. We're gonna have to wait to get some more copies. Now, what do we have in here? We have 1, 2, we have Kaz in here. We have Aethys. Aethys is another one where we need 1 single copy of Aethys. We'll be able to build them up quite a bit. And then even looking here, because thinking like Kaz we're never going to use, Nemora we're never going to use. So if we had 2 different Elite Plus, we could actually build those up a little bit. And then our Greyborn, we just got our second one. So we have 2 Ascended. We do have Chimera in here. We got quite a bit of food. You know what? I'm looking at Silas in here. I feel like Silas should be the next one, just again, utility-wise. We do have a couple copies, so let's build up Silas. Let's use some of this food. And ultimately, the food would just sit here if we're not building them out, if we're not adding kind of more on there. But then I believe we do have enough with the copies we have here. Use this copy. That is going to give us, boom, there's Legendary, there is Legendary Plus. And this takes Silas. Again, we're going to need a couple more copies, but that takes Silas up to Mythic. I don't think we have enough for Mythic Plus. We have 1, 2, 3. Nope, we need 1 more, and then we'll be able to do Mythic Plus. But even thinking like old school Chimera, looking at a couple other ones, don't think we're ever going to use. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and use these copies of Chimera because I have no intention to build Chimera. I'm probably not literally going to sit on those copies forever. But I will use Silas because we can go ahead and drop him in formations. Add a Mythic Plus, just need a couple more copies. That way we can build them up a little bit further. There we go. So we have Athalia in there. We have a couple open slots. Let's go ahead and hop in. What do we have for our Elder Tree here? Boom, 1 more level. Almost up to 15 in that tree. Now here we do have 5 for our warriors. And then we'll wait to build up the other one. The Field of Stars is the exact same. I don't think we have anything to unlock in there. But let's hop in here, and I want to drop Ivan in here. So we're actually going to have access to the next hero within here. We do have a couple summons as well, but I'm not sure at this point if Ivan had any furniture. I know, again, we've done a couple summons in here. Let's bust this out a little bit. See if by chance storeroom. I don't think we have any pieces at all for Ivan. Hopping in here, we do have, both of them are in the wish list. We have Liberta in there. Still haven't unlocked Liberta though. If we can pull a mythic piece, and I would love to get a mythic piece for Randy because that would actually give him the 3 of 9. 1 right here. Let's go ahead and do support because they're both support. So whoever it's going to kind of suit better or fit in better. And even here, we can't just put these all on here. So auto-play some of the furniture. Even looking here, let's auto-play some of these. Building it up just a little bit further. Yeah, let's save those. Let's save those to see exactly what we get within here. That gives a little bit of a boost to Ivan, a little bit of boost right there to Scarlet. Again, don't have any copies for Rem as it sits right now. Not even close to another one. Even though we do have Rem in here and a couple other ones, and we also have, Randy went to a 30, so this one I'm actually going to be building out. I'm actually going to be building out Rem a little bit further. Oh, not enough in there. Not enough in there to build it. Now, of course, here we're at a 19. Let's take this to a 20. Then who are we building next? Let's see. So let's build out Ivan. Wait, because I'm thinking 240, 220, 220. Who do we got? We got to get another 220. Now, all of these are locked because they are not ascended. Yeah, let's build this out a little bit further. This will take him to 220. And I also feel like here, yeah, 14K to get that built up a little bit further. Absolutely starting to get some of these heroes built. That gives us 4 ascended heroes already. Very cool to see. Now let's see about the progression, trying to push through a little bit of the tower. I don't think we have anything else. I think the Dragon Isle, we only had that very first one built. Yeah, so 120. Does it give us anything? Nothing there, but we do get some scrolls. You know what I thought we had used? Maybe we saved the scrolls that we had in here last time. No, we have 10 more scrolls. Now, I do recommend using the scrolls in here. I wouldn't use really anything else. Let's see if we can get a copy of LAN. And again, picking up some of those 24 hours, picking up a couple more of these resources, just like on the YouTube account. Unfortunately, LAN really eludes us. And then over here, we did our wish list. We got Cyan in there and a couple others. Can we get anything out of here? Which we do not out of that scroll. But you know what? We picked up some hero essence. We got some coins. Build this out just a little bit further. Now, of course, unions don't really make a difference anymore because we are so far removed. And here we do pick up another card, which could be another hero. Now, we're also saving. I'm saving quite a bit when it comes to the guild boss, everything else. And the reason being, we know we have a lot more content that's coming. But let me see if we can get through this. So I'm almost wondering. So there we go. So we got both of these. We have Aethys in here. We have Chimera. Let's drop Silas in here. And then second one, we know we had Rem. Let's drop Rem in here. This might be a little bit of a tough one in here to swallow. Yeah, because I feel like Brutus is going to have to take a lot of this. Now, we have the SP effect in both of the teams, which is right here. We do have Chimera's, and then we do have Athalia's in here. Let's see what it looks like. I'm worried we're just going to get wrecked in this one, but if we can get Rem to ult behind Brutus, he died right there. That's my worry, is we're going to get stuck. And this is where, again, most players have gotten stuck in the entirety. Let me see if we can get Athalia over here on Savius. Again, if we can get Rem to ult, Rem is just instantly dying. Yeah, that is very, very fast. Again, Naruko and looking at Brutus in here, just kind of trying to cheese it. But even at Ascended, Rem is just getting the squishiness of Rem is kind of crazy. Let me see if we got, what do we have here on Rem? All right, so we got a very basic collection. Let's see, let's put a bigger collection. We don't need it on Halia. We got a 3. Now in here for gear, what do we got for our strength gear? Almost wondering, Brutus. Yeah, Brutus doesn't have anything. All of these do not have anything. Wow. Yeah, we really need to get some gear in here with all of them. Again, Brutus, we know, is just going to instantly die, so that doesn't make a huge, huge difference there. But even Rem being at 220, again, we're gonna have to get and gonna have to build this up a lot higher just to get this built up. Again, adding some stars on there, adding some more HP. Survivability with Rem. It is an issue that we have seen kind of time and time again. Who else do we even have? You know what, Silas? I think we have a little bit. Build Silas up. Yeah, let's go to a 10 on Silas. Adding in a little bit more, but again, I don't think we have a lot of resources for anyone else. Even these are all, yeah, we don't have really anything on here. The first formation I feel like we can make through this is probably a pretty good build. And I don't know, maybe if we drop Aethys out of this one. Let's drop Naruko. Let me drop Naruko in here. Almost wondering if Aethys can provide us some sort of or some form of crowd control. Just again, just to try to keep Rem, see? Yeah, even there with Entendre. This again, this is where we've been stuck for a while. I feel like Savius is going to just wreck Aethys when it comes down. We almost have a full Greyborn team. Even here running Palmer in the back, we have the potions. Got some crowd control, but again, Savius. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out some sort of counter in here, because this is just where we're getting run over time and time again, with the free to play account. Let's go in here. Let me stick with the essence in here. Hopefully that'll work out. Twisted bounties. I think we're about done with that Riga rewards again. Another one getting some rare stones out of here. Dimensions, we haven't built any of the dimensionals, but we do have the dailies and the weeklies. And even the visiting merchant. What do we got here? The envy bundle. Nope, not getting envy as much as I would love to grab a couple copies of envy or build that out a little bit earlier. I'm wondering even kind of the tier stones, because I know at this point can't put any of the tier stones on, or we don't have any of the builds, so we're gonna have to farm out a lot more gear to build this up. I feel like, again, armor, this is gonna be a big point where we can add some higher level gear, essentially, to get Rem built up, to get a little bit of survivability with Rem. Now, I know Rem in conjunction with running that Ulna is really, really strong in the combination of those two together, but unfortunately, we don't have Ulna at this point. Yeah, even here, you know, Hero Covenant, Legacy of Grit, we still have another 20 days. We could do a swap on there. Heroes of Esperio, we have Temporal Rift, Lyrical Expiration is another one that we're getting a little bit more resources. And I think we also do have some copies, or I think we have another 100 stones. We can actually garrison Rem a second time. Yeah, so we have 36 days. All right, so we're good on Rem. Let's see what we can buy in here. Wondering if there's anything. Now, I know gold-wise, we've been running out of gold a lot out of here. Now this, of course, we're just going to wait, save these barracks. See if any of these stones are going to make a difference. If we could get a copy of Aethys, if we could get a copy of a couple other ones, even in here, some of the red chests. I think some of the red chests, as much as I would like to get, you know, Arthur, Wukong, or even looking at a couple other ones, I feel like this is the point where red chests are really going to make a big difference. I like the essence, though. You know what? I'm going to pick up some red chests. I mean, that's another 50 red chests out of here. Then in here, we're going to save for Ulna. I wouldn't buy anything else, honestly, in here. Ulna would be my solid choice, 250 for that one copy. Getting those copies of Ulna are going to be the absolute game changer in there. Make sure. So we're going to have to save up some resources. That way we can pick up Rem a second time or a third time. Now, also remember, when we get Rem 6 times, we no longer have to borrow Rem. So we'll actually have the ability to continue or keep Rem for the extended duration. So that does take it to 24. Again, gear-wise, I feel like we have to farm it out. Tower-wise, we're going to have to farm this out quite a bit, as well as the Temporal Rift. Super basic team that we've been running in here with the Rift, but it's been working. It's been going through here. Now, also remember, this is free to play. Free to play is a very, very different experience than what we see on some of our other accounts. What did we get to? I think we got to 2 teams. 2 teams, and this is where we got kind of wrecked. The hero fused with Rem is already in a formation. Let me drop Rem in here. And I'm gonna see, because I'm gonna drop. Oh, already. I'm gonna have to rewind all this. Get it taken care of, because I think now I can drop them out. So let me drop Rem. Again, we have Brutus in here. We have Athelia in here. I'm going to drop Palmer in here. We got a copy of Skyland, which was pretty lucky. Thinking maybe, because they're very high level. I mean, 360 kind of built out. Yeah, we got a victory. There we go. No stability loss. So I feel like with the levels we just gained, we should be able to get through here and move through here quite a bit. We got Grievous, Vexing. Let's do Flora's Dew. That way we can recuperate and get some more of this lost stability. Now, ultimately, guys, when it comes to this game mode specifically, you know, going through here and farming, you have to use what you have. I mean, that is really, honestly, the only option that we have right here. This one, we have Skyland, so I'm going to drop. We have Shmira. We do have 2 tanks. I think I have Naruko in the secondary. I'm going to drop I'm going to drop Eron in here. And I feel like, again, looking at the power differential, we should be able to get through here pretty easy, as long as we can hit up a couple of those Flora's Dews and get that really built out. Because we know Rem, again, stability with Rem, if we can keep Rem alive, we can definitely cut through a lot of this. And there we go. There's another Flora's Dew. Not even looking here, getting restored, going to a Blessing Realm. That's why I said when it comes to this game mode, it's a lot easier than it used to be. Especially because Flora's Dew and stuff like this. We're back up almost to 1,000 there for our resources. There's 100. There's 10 more scrolls. Tier 3 and Tier 4 stones. Yeah, what can we get out of the shop? I'm kind of wondering, because I know we got those time emblems. 100 floors will give us the rest of those time emblems. We have almost enough for them. Pushing a little bit more progression. Again, everyone in here I probably wouldn't recommend buying at this point, but absolutely picking up some more resources out of there. So we have a lot to do on the free-to-play account, guys, but that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and as always, thank you guys for watching.